Welcome back. If you happened to be climbing the Himalayas 59 years ago last week, you might have been surprised to see, as you dangled from your rope and were peering through a telescope towards India, a bedraggled man in saffron wading through the Brahmaputra River and eventually crossed the border via the Kenzamana Pass, finally resting at the Tawang Monastery. Yes, you'd have been up there for some time to witness all of this, but think how difficult it was for him. Plus you'd have needed some sort of night vision device on the telescope and I imagine some sort of MRI thing to see through the walls of the Tawang Monastery. And that's a lot of equipment and pretty pricey. But this guy had nothing. I took tea with the Dalai Lama earlier this week and we talked about his amazing journey.
Very good. Should begin. Your Holiness, welcome to Australia.
Thank you.
Now, you fled your homeland of Tibet in 1959 as Chinese troops ruthlessly crushed and moved by your people towards independence. You're a young man in your 20s back then. Played, may I say, wonderfully well in the movie version of what happened by a relative newcomer to acting, Tenzing Thintop Sarong. And I thought Martin Scorsese's direction and Philip Glass's powerful score were both excellent. What did you think of Kandan? Did you like it?
I'm afraid I have not seen this film.
Deliberately?
Oh, no. On the contrary, I have seen many of Martin Scorsese's films and enjoyed them very much. I thought Goodfellas and Casino were terrific. Of course, I'm a big fan of Joe Pesci. I thought The King of Comedy I found amusing in a kind of squirmy way. And one cannot forget, of course, the brilliance of 1976's Taxi Driver.
Ah, yes, Robert De Niro.
He's very good, isn't he? Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Yes, it's a very violent film though, isn't it?
It certainly is. He blows away a lot of people at the end. The special effects, particularly when the hand is ripped apart, particularly gruesome but very well done.
Yeah, well, Goodfellas and Casino are pretty violent as well.
I agree. There is a very high body count, but it is essential to the story. I love the car blowing up in Casino. Boom! It's so surprising. Mean Streets is also very good at the end with Johnny Boy sticking his head out the window and the blood is gushing from the wound in his neck. Is very, very convincing.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about Tibet and the situation there. You must really hate the Chinese government.
I do not hate the Chinese government, but I do wish that their viewpoint regarding Tibetan autonomy was perhaps somewhat more understanding.
Yes, but thousands of years of Tibetan culture is slowly disappearing with the mass migration of Han Chinese into your country. That must make you very angry.
It is unfortunate, but I have always believed in patience when striving for peace.
What about the fact that you've been living in exile these last 50 years? I imagine that really get up your nose.
Oh, no.
Do you ever get angry?
About my homeland? It is self-defeating to become angry.
What about anything? Is that the deal with Buddhism? You don't get angry? See, that'd piss me right off if I couldn't get angry now and again.
Conflict can only exist if there is resistance, but one can have opposition.
But what about if you stubbed your toe or accidentally banged your finger with a hammer? Would you get a bit annoyed then?
No.
What about if somebody called you a rude name?
No.
If they made fun of your friendship with Richard Gere? What about if I threw this glass of water in your face? That'd make you cross, wouldn't it?
Holding on to anger is like holding on to a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone. You are the one who gets burned. Well, I am wet, but I am not angry.
Take the L out of llama and it's still llama. Well, time to bail, mofos, but before we do, a brief look at finance now with ComSec's Larry Marble.
Thanks, Sean. The All Ordinaries continued to rise today despite a worsening of the economy in the US, still floundering in the wake of the subprime financial crisis. Fortescue Metals were the big winners, up 1.2%, while mining giant Rio Tinto and BHP Billiton continued their courting victory. But there's no wedding just yet. Among the banks, it was a good day for both the ANZ and the NAB, both closing strongly at 50 cents and 31 cents respectively. And that's finance. Back to you, Sean.
Thanks, Larry. Let's have a look at tomorrow's newspaper headlines. The Australian going with the same old, same old. The Age has an interesting take on a story as old as journalism itself. And not surprisingly, The Scotsman has given something 4 stars. Well, until next we meet, I would like you to ponder this. Heroes is literally only 1 letter away from herpes. Yasra and good night.
Democrats will never beat McCain while they're a divided party. What they need to do is construct some sort of machine like in that movie The Fly and put Obama in one pod and Clinton in the other and then fuse them together. And the resulting creature would be a combination of all the best characteristics of both candidates. Yeah, it'd probably be a hideous mutant too, but I mean, John McCain's not well painting, is he?
I saw this documentary about a white farmer in Zimbabwe who is pretty much the country's bellwether. Every time he gets beaten to a pulp, Robert Mugabe wins the election. It's uncanny.
I don't know what Kevin Rudd's talking about. The answer to elective surgery waiting lists is simple. Build more corridors. Not nearly as expensive as hospitals, and you don't need doctors or nurses, just a few more gurneys for them to lie on.
Hi, Sean McAuliffe here, or there, depending on your perspective, or mine. I don't want you to think that when you visit the website to watch the episode again, you need to register just your praise. If you have any problems with the show at all, please, by all means, feel free to express them, and we'll do our very best to address them. Although, I'll be honest, calls for me to be replaced by Paulie Fennick from Pizza will probably fall on deaf ears. I mean, I'm keen, obviously, but Paul says he's busy. Stick to complaining about my haircut. SBS can't access for that. Or can they?